Just a moment. Okay, you are live.
Thank you so much. So welcome everyone to the January 20th, 2026 Annapolis Transportation Board. First things would be approval of the agenda. Does anybody have any objections to the agenda? Someone want to move to approve the agenda?
I didn't actually see the agenda. I assume it came out.
Yeah, it came out in an email talking about a standing agenda. Yeah,
Okay.
pretty straightforward, Kurt.
All right.
So moved.
Seconded. Anyone? Phineas, are you going off mute to second the approval of the agenda?
Yep, sorry. It was still showing me as mute on my end. Took a second.
Sure. Okay, so we have a motion to approve the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
All nods. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
And then we have a motion to approve the November meeting minutes. Can I have a motion to approve the November meeting minutes, or does someone have any questions or need clarification on the minutes? Great. Would someone like to motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Zoe. And does someone want a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so the agenda has been approved and the meeting minutes from November have been approved. We do have the first topic, we can make it the new committee. So we have Rob Savage and oh my goodness, why am I not gonna come up with it? Sorry, Zoe.
Was Brooke, right?
But the chair is new to the council, to city council. She was just recently elected. And I had it up a second ago. Hang on.
Hello,
Yes.
I can barely hear. Is anyone else having trouble with audio?
No.
Are you able to increase the volume on your computer, Mr. Bergman?
Yeah, it's at the top right now.
Madam Chair, you are a little low on my end.
Okay, I'll just move it closer and I'll talk louder.
Okay.
Or I can even put a headset on if it's going to help. If you have problems, let me know. So the Transportation Committee, as part of the City Council, is Janice Alsop Johnson. She is newly elected to City Council and she is the chair. And then we have Alderman Bob Savage and Alderman Brooke Scheidemeyer. I did invite Janice Alsop, Ms. Janice Alsop, and Alsop Johnson, but I did not get an answer. So I'm not sure. I would say this, Zoe, I think this is all fairly new for her. And just in last week's Transportation Committee meeting, you know, she was led along the program, the typical events, right? So she was getting a lot of hand holding, gets broken in. I think to the extent we need support, we're going to have to seek it out and probably have a you know, one-on-one conversations with her to get her attention on certain issues if that's what we need to do. I don't know if you've had an opportunity to meet her or look up her qualifications. She at one point was, I think, a civil employee of the city.
It'd be very helpful to
can't
have
tell
her
anything.
or somebody on the committee attend our meetings as well. So I wish you luck.
Yes. But we did, you know, the city, the Transportation Committee meeting was interesting. They're going back over for
Your audio is
Ross
breaking
came
up,
back.
Tara. You may have a weak Wi-Fi connection.
It's a constant.
Not hearing you.
And do a test, Kurt? It says we have great Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So, all interesting issues, Zoe, but I do think with this new composition, I think everything is open, back open again. All the same issues I think are just going to get relitigated and talked about. So, I think the most interesting thing was just me walking the committee through how they might look at the financial review for the cameras, because I don't really think anybody on city council support team is very good at outlining pros and cons from a financial point of view for anything that they look at. So I think I think Bob Savage will lean on us to help him with that analysis. And other than that, I got very little from what their agenda would be for the year.
Tara, I want to compliment you on your appearance at the last meeting of the Transportation Committee. I thought your preliminary analysis of the cameras, the speed cameras, was excellent. And you have raised some cautions that I think the council ought to pay attention to, because it really looks as though the contractor is about to walk away with a lot of money and irritate a lot of citizens.
I think it is very typical where you don't have budget and you think it's okay to do a split sharing with the third party. But then, as Bob Savage even pointed out, you do give up control. I see Phineas, you have your hand raised.
Yep, I just wanted to confirm really quick that you got the both the heat map and the report Annapolis Police put out for 2024.
Thank you, Phineas. I really did appreciate you sending that along. Thank you. And being proactive about it. Appreciate it.
I'm still
Bob?
waiting. Sorry,
Yes, sorry.
Lieutenant Joe Mann said that they're still working on the 2025 report. So that is on the
Okay.
way. I just haven't gotten it yet.
That's great. I mean, I know I can go on MDOT and get stats. I just wanted it in a heat map and not have to do it myself. So thank you.
Okay.
Bob?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I noticed that Janice Alsop Johnson is from Ward 4, and I think that's good because Ward 4 has a lot of people that ride the bus. So that'll be a pretty good thing for us to be talking about transportation with her.
Yeah, I don't know though that she's sorted out who does what, and what's in her lane and what's in somebody else's lane yet. I don't know that that's been sorted out. Okay, so that would be the Transportation Committee, and hopefully we will get some participation, but obviously not this evening. I can move on to the Transportation Department update. Kwaku? Hi, Happy New Year.
Hi, thank you very much. Nothing new from the department at this time. We did receive the draft of the marketing plan that we are reviewing. Just one quick comment on that. Can you hear me clearly? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So just a background, the department used to have a marketing specialist position, but it was defunded. Since that time, we had never had any marketing program. The other thing that I would like to do is a request. I believe the Transportation Board has a link for all its meeting minutes and agendas. I'm working on the FY27 transit grant application, and one of the required documents is the minutes or sample minutes of the board and the agenda. So if somebody can send me the link, I will really appreciate that. That's all that I have. If anybody has a question,
Kwaku, my experience was that the city has not been good in putting up our minutes, and
No.
I'm afraid the website may lack them all. So Tara, you may have to collect them all and get them up there.
I'm gonna have to do them.
Yeah, I have some time. I think first part of the application is due the first week or the second week of February. I've just started working on that. So if it's not readily available by the deadline, I can let M.NTA know that it will follow later.
No worries, Kwaku. We can give you the, I'll do this one right away and you'll have November, and then we'll just tell them that we're backfilling with the prior months.
Okay, all right. Thank you
How's
very
that?
much. Sure.
Okay.
Any
Okay.
question for me?
Does anyone have questions for Kwaku?
Did you say that
Right.
you're going to get a position for marketing for the Department of Transportation?
Yeah, there was a position, a marketing specialist, very dynamic person, lady. I think she is a writer also, and she did a great job. Some of the things that you have mentioned in that document, she used to do. We have active Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and all those things. But the position was defunded in, I believe, 2011. And we have not been able to get the funding back. So for that to be the easiest way to actually get back to the marketing program instead of legislation, because the position is an approved civil service position. What is needed is the funding, and then finding somebody to fill it, and then basically starting the whole marketing program again. And I believe, I don't know whether you did read the TDP, the 2025 Transit Development Plan for Annapolis. In there is a recommendation, and the recommendation is based upon a survey of non-transit riders. And we were surprised to learn that there are several people in the city that are not even aware of the presence of a transit service in the city. So we put in that recommendation, but it's good that the board has picked it up and moving forward with that. What I was saying is the history of the marketing program, but there was a time that there was somebody in charge of that. In fact, she did very wonderful things trying to get even elementary school students to get involved in transit, knowing that once they get to learn more about it, they will talk to their parents and say, why don't you try? So there were several neat things that we did at that time. And then the position was cut. And since that time, we have not been able to fill it because of lack of funding.
Thank you, Kwaku. I think I've noticed an uptick in posts Instagram coming from the Facebook as well. So it seems to me I see more information out there on social media and in Annapolis. Small observation. Update. Kurt sent us all a document a little over table. Could have a read it. Does anyone have any further comments on that document? If not, I would make a motion that we approve Kurt's document as written and submit it as he suggests. Second, someone?
I'll second.
Bob, your hand is, Phineas is seconded. Perfect. Okay. And do we all vote in favor of sending the document as written as indicated?
Aye.
Phineas, you motion, so I'm assuming you do. Zoe, you're in?
Yep.
Bob, Ed's up. Cool. Okay, so so approved. We'll send that along.
I
Kurt.
vote nay,
Are you
ma'am.
sending it, or do you need me to submit it?
I
You
wanted
vote
to,
nay, Bob?
yes, I do, and I'd like to explain why. I've been on the Transportation
Sure,
Board for
let's
not that
discuss.
long, and I also have seen a couple of pieces of material come through the Transportation Board and go, like this particular one, go right to City Council. And in my opinion, I think that either the people that are submitting this information are geniuses, or the Transportation Board isn't doing their job. We need to give some feedback to these so they are not just rubber stamped and sent right on.
I think everybody had adequate time to send in comments, and I'm assuming if you did not, then you were,
I sent,
Okay.
I sent comments and they were not included.
Bob, as I recall, you raised a question about the, I guess the positive comment about praise for their selection of a power level of 37 kilowatt for the level 3 chargers. And you questioned whether that ought to be included. I thought that we should take advantage of every opportunity to make a positive comment. I thought they did that just right, and so that's why that was included. Was there something else that was?
Oh, yeah, there were a number of comments that I made about, how to organize that particular document so that the city council would have an understanding of what we were trying to do. It's fairly long that I went back and forth about twice or three times, and we're seeing the draft that you submitted. That's okay. I mean, like I said, we all need to be able to comment. As you know, there's something that I sent on, and I'm hoping that everybody on the board comments, because the more information that we get, the better it's going to be. And I'm going to change, or our little subcommittee. By the way, our subcommittee is a subcommittee that exists for this particular venue because of the fact that Transportation Board has no staff. So our little subcommittee is kind of the legs that goes out and tries to get information from all of the stakeholders so that when we put this together and we all agree and it goes forward, it's not from the subcommittee, it's from the entire board. I think that's the way it ought to work.
Yeah, I do too.
Anyway, I said my piece.
all right. Next up, Phineas and Bob, I know Beth can't join us, but do you want to talk about the work you've been doing and what you submitted and what sort of feedback you'd like and what the timing is, please?
Yeah, this is just for, like I said previously, we're just doing the legwork because we don't have a staff. So we're going to go to the people who are stakeholders and talk to them and find out what they're using them for guidance. Like, for instance, the Director of Transportation, the Mayor's Office, the Transportation Committee, just to find out what they want. So that, and we also would like to hear from the entire board to find out what the board wants as well. We'll see 2 or 3 different iterations of this particular piece. It's obviously, it's just the first shot. And we're anxious to hear from everyone so that our final document that goes to City Council has been vetted by everyone. That's all.
I think this is a fine initiative. I compliment everybody on who has participated. I gather it's you and Phineas. Has anybody else been involved?
And also Beth Gozel.
Okay, Beth. Anyway, it's a great start. Too late. Just today I sent you some comments.
Oh, that's okay.
And I hope that will be useful to you.
Absolutely. And I appreciate those comments. There's some very good ones in there. Thank you very much, Kurt. Anyone else that wants to take a shot, that's fine. I mean, like I said, this is an early draft. And the whole idea is that by the time we present it to City Council from the entire board, we'll all be in somewhat of agreement. Obviously, we won't agree to everything. But on the other hand, they will all know what has been transpiring too as well. I'm interested in transparency rather than just dropping it on them. Here you go.
Zoe?
To Bob's last point, I think if we did encourage city council participation on this board and we have a recommendation or something that we're planning to introduce, it would be an opportunity for them to hear our presentation and our discussion and sort of understand where the recommendations are coming from. And so the other thing I would suggest to Bob's previous point he made, I think when we are introducing a resolution or a written document, that it would be good to at least, even if we've all reviewed it and are ready to make, approve it, just for the sake of procedure, just have a short overview of that document for those who've not seen it, because that aren't online. And then we can just open the floor for questions or comments or discussion prior to voting.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Zoe.
Thank you, Zoe. Thanks, Bob. Phineas, did you want to add anything to the request? Did Bob cover it well enough for you? You're happy?
Sorry, had to unmute myself. So, yeah, Bob covered pretty much everything. I know that at the very least, Brooks seems to like what we're doing here. I don't know about any of the other people actually on city council, but just as an example, that hopefully this will prevent from happening in the future. A couple of weeks ago, I was trying to take the bus on a Sunday, and there was a bus schedule for Sundays, I should say. And basically, I stood outside in Robinwood for about an hour and a half with no bus that was showing up. And finally, a Go Time bus came up. They told me, "Oh, we're only running Go Time. There is no fixed route bus today." So I worked with Brooks and I worked with Marcus last week, and they took that Sunday schedule down off the website because I was kind of like, this is what we're telling people, and we shouldn't be if it doesn't exist. So I think at the very for sure, I think Brooks is going to be 100% behind us. So that's all I have.
Baku, I'm sure you heard about this because Marcus Moore did mention it informally at the Transportation Committee meeting. So Phineas, he was disappointed, I'll say, that there was that discrepancy and that that the language would have led someone to believe there was service when there wasn't. So I'm sure that's getting addressed.
Yeah.
Ed, I can't tell if your
Not
hand is
yet.
raised or if it had been raised. So calling on Ed.
Yes, I just did raise. I noticed on the Eastport Forum yesterday a note from a woman who described her now total reliance on the bus system coming from some other place and some difficulties she had recently. I think I circulated that, and it may have been mistaken for my own statement because I did not put her name in. I contacted her again and asked if she wanted to have some kind of contact. And that's because I received a note from someone in the transportation department saying, we are able to change the location of bus stops based on questions of convenience or safety. So I sent this back to her, and she is now in contact, and apparently some resolution will be reached by them. I was not aware that this was possible. It was quite interesting. And I wonder if there are not other additional sources of experience that we should be plumbing maybe more broadly. I think interviews of the kind that have been taken are exactly the kind we should have, but maybe we should leave ourselves open for contact from people who have had problems with the bus system. This is not one of those. This is something I happen to notice indirectly. So I'll leave that. Thank you.
Kwaku? What is the department's position on changing bus stops or feedback from the public on bus stops, please?
We are open to
And noting
ideas.
that I'm assuming these are only and Ed, you have to recognize, he would not control all the bus stops. He would control the Annapolis bus stops. But MDOT, for instance, would control the commuter bus stops for the buses that go to DC. And then you have county as well. So we constantly have that problem, whether what we're talking about is a city or a county or a state controlled bus stop.
Yeah, we are open to ideas, but there are general guidelines that we do follow. In fact, the Baltimore Metropolitan Council actually has a guidelines of bus stop location and assessment, including ADA accessibility. So when we do get a request, we take a look at the guidelines based upon safety. I think you might have reached out to Jamal Parker, the operations manager, because this is something related to operations. So far as we get the information, we will make an assessment and determination. If it is safe and we feel that if people will use it, we will make the necessary changes. If it is a major bus stop, that will also require us to make changes to the bus schedule, because on the bus schedule, we do have some of the bus stop locations listed with an estimated time of arrival of the bus. So, but if it's a very simple one where it is not listed on the schedule, it's much easier to make a change to that. But we are open to ideas from the public. The whole idea is that people who ride the system have better knowledge, especially on a daily basis, than those who just operate it. And you'll be welcome to ideas to make things much better. After all, customer service is the baseline for what we do.
Kwaku, is there a place on your website or somewhere where you basically, if you want to request a stop or a route change, you can do that? Or do we leave it to people to know sort of who to reach out to request? I think I seem to recall when my children took public buses, at the beginning of each year, there was sort of a time window when you could put in a stop request.
There are stop requests that could be made by a passenger. So far as it's safe for the driver to stop, the driver will stop. If the driver cannot stop there, the driver will let you know that this is not a safe place to stop, but the next place. In terms of a place for somebody to say file a complaint or make a bus stop request, I think on our website, the Transportation Department website, any questions or inquiries could be sent to the director. So that would be the best place to go, and then send out any questions. For there are other ways to do that. Sometimes we get some requests forwarded to us from the mayor's office because the person didn't go to the website, and the only place or number the person knows is called the mayor's office. So when the mayor's office gets that kind of request, and they do get several requests, public works, police, park and recs, transportation, they will forward it to the appropriate agency and they will respond. With the way that I used to do it, when I was acting, when I get any questions from the mayor's office, once there is a resolution, I will copy the mayor's office to let them know that that particular issue has been addressed, or we have contacted the person who did submit that. And I believe that's what we do, we still do. But any questions, we can reach out to the department. There is a generic email that our dispatchers monitor every day, or you can reach out to me directly or to the director. Any other question?
Bob
Yeah,
has his hand up.
I have my hand up. The situation is that everyone, I think, has gotten a copy of a Microsoft Word copy of that draft that I sent out about recommendations, the first draft. Read the last two sentences in that draft and you'll see what we recommend to be able to deal with people that want to change routes or want to change stops, etc.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let me make one quick comment in terms of changing routes. If it's a slight route deviation based upon several factors, we may or we may not be able to do it. If you are going to change a route that will significantly affect the service, there are specific requirements and steps we need to follow. I.e., we will have to advertise, we will have to have public hearings or public meetings, we have to solicit input from the general public. We have to also determine the impact on the overall service. So once we receive this, we will analyze it, we will go through our public. There are steps for service and fare change. I believe if you don't have a copy, I did write it, I can send you a copy in terms of any request for a change in service that include the bus stop location, depending upon the overall impact or the magnitude of the request. These are the steps that we have to go through in order to make that change. So that procedures have been established. Perhaps I have to send a copy to the board to be very familiar with that. And based upon that, those requests could be made. Any other question?
Yes, I do look forward to.
I will send it to Tara. I will send it to you, and then you
feedback. So that hopefully forthcoming.
Yeah. So I will send it to you. I think it's called Procedures for Service and Fare Change.
Thank you.
And these are specific compliance requirements that we have to adhere to. We cannot just go in and change it. Otherwise, somebody will come and say, okay, what about me? So I will send it to you, Tara, and then you can also distribute it to the members of the board.
Happy to do that. Thank you, Kwaku.
Sure.
So I think I've covered all the new business as well as topics and items to be moved on. Unless I missed something, I'm going to proceed to around the table. And because Phineas does have an early departure, I'm going to go to him first. Phineas, did you have anything else to share?
No, I think we hit it all in this meeting. So nothing for me.
Thank you so much. Zoe, anything?
No, nothing from me.
Bob?
Yes, I have some good news. If you recall, in I think June or late June or early July, we were very happy the fact that there's going to be a crosswalk at 110 Compromise Street across from the Annapolis Hotel. I'd just like to report that within the last week, there were some surveyors down there, and there are actually now some marks in the street of where that crosswalk and the divider is going to be. So it's all good news now, 6.5 months later. But as my partner says, TTT, which stands for things take time. So anyway, they're gonna probably put it in there within the next couple of weeks. Just reporting.
Thank you.
Good news.
Kurt?
Thanks. Gosh, I can't think of a thing.
Okay. Ed?
No, I have nothing.
Okay. And I have nothing new. So yeah, we'll sort things out with the Annapolis Transportation Committee from the City Council and see chair to join, or maybe we can press yeah,
Tara, I'm not hearing you. Is everybody else
Karma
hearing?
that would
Okay.
show up. We had Karma. No, it's my Wi-Fi. Okay, motion to
Okay.
adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All right, thanks I'm assuming we all agree, everybody, and I look forward to reading documents and talking with you all soon.
You bet.